My name is Bridget Rusty, and today's training topic is Menu Planning in the Child and Adult Care Food Program, or CACFP. Today I'll be sharing some menu inspiration if you're looking to make sure your menu is CACFP compliant, or just looking for some new recipe inspiration. This training would be especially helpful to share with your center's cooks or anyone involved with developing the CACFP menu. This webinar will be recorded and posted to our CACFP YouTube page in the coming days. We encourage you to use the chat feature and enter any questions you may have into the chat. Feel free to also share out any particularly useful resources that have helped your center develop a CACFP menu. Whether we talk about it in today's session or not, I'd love to hear what you all use. We can share out ideas and resources with each other. I'll get to the questions at the end of today's training, and should you have any other questions that come up, please feel free to email myself or Patty. So let's get started. Today's training focuses on menu planning, which will highlight some helpful resources for ensuring you are meeting menu and meal pattern requirements, as well as give you ideas and inspiration for developing compliant menus. So here's a list of food components required with each meal. I covered the same slide during the all-day training back in September, but today we're also going to be sharing out a new CACFP menu checklist for you to print off and share with your staff. And this is what it looks like. So we've gotten some feedback over the last few months for a checklist of all the requirements that need to be on the CACFP menu. So here it is. You may use this menu checklist to ensure menus and meals comply with CACFP meal requirements. Specific Adult Daycare Center, or ADC, requirements are listed as well. This is not a new requirement, just a resource or tool to help you develop CACFP menus. We now have this menu checklist posted on our CACFP webpage under Resources and Guidance. It's 2 full pages long. This is just a screenshot. This is a continuation of the menu requirements to ensure menus and meals comply with CACFP meal requirements. It contains a bit more information than just the menu requirements, but it also ensures you are serving cereals and yogurts that meet the sugar limit, labeling whole grain rich items to ensure your center is serving at least 1 whole grain rich item per day, etc. One reason you'll see type of milk, including fat content, specified by age group, and if flavored, is to ensure that 1-year-olds are receiving unflavored whole milk, 2 to 5-year-olds are receiving unflavored, fat-free, or skim, or low-fat 1% milk, and that children ages 6 to 18 are receiving unflavored or flavored fat-free skim or low-fat 1% milk. For adult participants in the adult daycare component, 6 ounces of yogurt may be substituted for 8 ounces of milk for 1 meal per day. A common question that is received is, how can I develop a cycle menu that qualifies? Let's quickly review what a cycle menu is. A cycle menu is a series of menus planned in advance, served for a specific time period, usually about 4 to 6 weeks, and then repeated. Cycle menus are recommended because they save programs time and money by planning a set of menus once and repeating them. This prevents the need to spend time creating new menus every week or month. It also helps make food shopping more efficient with repeat grocery or vendor orders, which helps with predicting food costs and possibly saving money. It also helps make sure food preparation is more efficient because you are repeating the same recipes in meal production on a regular basis. They become familiar to you. Lastly, cycle menus help provide variety, as cycle menus often do not repeat the same foods and/or meals. A cycle menu that qualifies will meet all requirements on the menu checklist. When using cycle menus that are labeled week 1, week 2, and so on, you must print each week and date it with the month and date, because it is required to keep dated menus on file. In addition, it is a best practice to include a mixture of new and familiar foods and different textures, flavors, and colors at each meal. For example, when serving chicken Alfredo, serve with the red strawberries and green salad instead of diced pears and mashed potatoes, which are the same color and texture as the chicken Alfredo. This is an award-winning resource. It is from the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, and it offers over 240 snack ideas, with each recipe providing CACFP crediting information. The link to this resource is found on the slide, which will be available to click when viewing the recording on YouTube. This resource is from the Association of State Public Health Nutritionists, or ASPHN, and was developed to offer CACFP operators menu ideas that both incorporate fruits and vegetables, as well as offer cultural recipe options. Culturally diverse recipes are an enticing way for young children to experience a variety of vegetables and fruits. Children and families also learn and connect with world cultures through diverse recipes. You can learn more about this resource, why you should serve cultural foods in the CACFP, and access these menus on the website listed on the screen. All you have to do is click on the menu that looks interesting to you, and it actually automatically brings you to the standardized recipe, including how the meal contributes to the CACFP meal pattern. And again, the link will be available on the YouTube recording. Next, the Institute of Child Nutrition, or ICN, which is an organization funded by USDA to provide technical assistance for child nutrition programs, has a resource titled Cycle Menus for Child Care Preschoolers. It includes 16 weeks of menus divided into 4 seasons. Menus include some recipes from the ICN Child Nutrition Recipe Box, which I'll talk about next, which are hyperlinked from this resource. While this resource indicates it is for preschoolers, menu ideas and recipes are applicable to all CACFP programs. As mentioned on the previous slide, ICN has the Child Nutrition Recipe Box, which includes standardized recipes for child care centers, family child care, adult portions for adult daycare centers, and recipes in Spanish. Recipes for child care centers and adult portions for adult daycare centers are for 25 or 50 servings. Recipes for family daycares are for 6 servings. Spanish recipes have options for both 6 and 25 or 50 servings. So here's another look at the ICN, or Institute of Child Nutrition Box recipes, including a QR code that will take you right to the recipes if you use your camera on your phone to take a picture of the QR code of the mixing bowl. If you follow along with our CACFP monthly newsletter from the Office of Nutrition Programs and Services, you'll see that we feature a recipe each month, which includes CACFP crediting information. These recipes are typically sourced directly from this recipe box. I personally really enjoy how you can see ratings, just like many other recipes that you find online through blogs. You can actually filter recipes by meal type, so breakfast, lunch, snack, or supper. You can filter recipes by recipe category, including soups, side dishes, main dishes, or even whole grain rich. You can sort by vegan and vegetarian options, by total cook time, by cooking methods such as bake, slow cooker, microwave, etc. It's very user-friendly and a great resource for all CACFP operators. Recipes are for an array of menu items, and as I mentioned on the last slide, you can search by recipe category and/or keyword. The example on this slide shows that I searched for main dish recipes with chicken. I selected a recipe for rainbow rice. You can see that the recipes included information for 25 and 50 servings. The serving amounts correlate with crediting information included with each recipe. This information is found near the top of the page shown in the red box. It is also shown larger in the green box. For this recipe, 1 cup provides 2 ounces of meat alternate, 1/4 cup of vegetable, and 1 ounce equivalent of grains. You will need to use the CACFP meal pattern to determine how much to serve to each participant in each age group. If you serve a different number of participants than the serving provided in the recipe, you'll need to either increase or decrease the number of servings by doubling the recipe or cutting it in half. The Institute of Child Nutrition, or ICN, also sends out monthly mealtime memos by email. Each month includes a message on a theme of the month and lists different foods of the month. For example, July is National Watermelon Month, and July 31st is Avocado Day. You can incorporate foods from National Food Days into menus. The memo also includes information on foods in season and other fun info and facts for kids. You can sign up for the free mealtime memo at the link on this slide. We'll also put the link in the chat. And again, that will be the chat on the YouTube page once this is posted. All links that we share, again, are posted on the comment section of our YouTube video. Another menu planning idea is to incorporate more vegetarian meals into your menus. You could implement a Meatless Monday where you serve meat alternate foods for the meat alternate component at all meals on Mondays. One meat alternate option is cooked dry beans and peas. Many dishes that traditionally use meat, such as ground beef as an ingredient, can be swapped out with cooked beans. You can also serve tofu or tempeh, which are foods that have recently become creditable to the CACFP meal pattern. I was recently out in the field and I saw a tofu stir fry at a Head Start, which looked incredible. Crediting information for tofu and tempeh and some tofu recipes are available. Eggs, yogurt, and soy yogurt, natural and processed cheese, cottage cheese, nut seeds, and nut and seed butters are also meat alternate options. And don't forget, you can serve meat alternates in place of the entire grains component at breakfast up to 3 days per week. Another idea is to incorporate cultural and ethnic meals into menus. This can help participants from different cultures celebrate their own uniqueness, introduce different cultures, and create a sense of belonging for everyone who attends the meal. Encourage families and staff to bring in recipes and share traditions associated with their culture. You might also consider including different cultural festivities and celebrations in your menu planning as a way of celebrating diversity, as many festivals and celebrations have traditional food associated with them. These events provide a valuable opportunity for children to learn more about specific foods associated with these events, as well as an opportunity for drawing related pictures, reading books, singing songs, and learning dances. This slide shows part of a 10-day menu that incorporates meals from around the world and includes standardized recipes from USDA's Team Nutrition's multicultural childcare recipes. Using these menus and recipes, you could implement Around the World Wednesday and feature a new ethnic or cultural dish each Wednesday, or start with doing a new ethnic cultural dish one Wednesday a month. So now let's go over some final thoughts on menu planning. Be flexible. Expect to make menu substitutions. The store may not have the item you are planning to serve, or you may find a specific fruit on sale and decide to buy that to serve instead of the fruit you had planned. When menu substitutions happen, you must record them on the menu and keep a copy of the menu on file with your CACFP record. Think outside the box. Serve foods that you have never served before and try a new recipe. When doing so, serve new foods with foods that are familiar. Expect some hesitancy when introducing new foods or a new recipe. And don't give up. Children may need to be exposed to a new food 10 to 15 times before they decide to try it and or like it. Have a plan for accommodating participants with special dietary needs. The CACFP requires that programs make accommodations for disabilities. However, think about what can be done when putting together your menu that could help address common special dietary needs. All right, well, that is all for today. I know it was a short one. Thanks for joining. And now we'll turn it over to the question box if we have any questions that have come in.